Hey, welcome back to another tutorial. So in a previous video, I encouraged you to have a look at sort of the noise, in particular noise. There was tile, I think there was organic noise and stuff. So yeah, hopefully you got to grips. You had a quite a fun time messing around with them. In this video, what we're going to cover is materials, multi-sub objects. Of course, we're going to cover materials, but we're going to cover multi-sub objects, and we're going to combine with the array modifier just to see how these can work. So again, I'm just going to start with sort of an empty scene. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Alt-W, expand the scene, and what we'll do is in this one, we'll just use a sphere. I'm going to click G, hit M to bring up my material editor. Now, I mentioned earlier on in one of the previous videos, you can actually set material IDs for your materials, and you can use them within objects, so you can create multiple materials and texture objects based upon these different IDs. So for this to work, or to contextualize it, what we're going to do is we're going to combine it with an array modifier. And we can see how this works in sync with a multi-sub object material. So in the physical section, what we're going to do, we're just going to click here. And what we're going to look for is a multi-sub object here. So if we click that one and we click OK, it's going to pop up and it's going to ask you, do you want to keep the old submaterial? Now, in our case, yeah, we can keep the old submaterial, and we can have a look at how this sort of applies. So we're going to click OK. Now, with the multi-sub object, you're going to get a set number of materials. So you're going to get a set number here, and then you get a list of IDs or corresponding IDs to that material. You can drag this onto the cube, and you can see it goes black at the minute. Now, each one of these slots, we can have an individual material applied to it. So currently we've only got one in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the number, the total number of materials associated with this multi-sub object. So I'm going to click 5 on here and OK, and you'll see that my material list now goes down to 5. And equally so, I can again come in here and I can maybe add change this to 4, and we've got 4 materials that are available to us. Now, to add a material to each one of these slots, what we need to do is click on it and then select the type of material we would like to add. Now, in this instance, we're just working back with the physical materials. So I'm going to click OK. Let's bring up our material browser, or navigator, should I say. And it's worth noting now, let's just move these off a little bit. It's worth noting that this is going to be sort of like your a good friend of yours, especially when you've got these and you want to navigate quickly between them. So what we're going to do again is we're going to add another material to this one, and then finally I'm going to add a final one here. Now for each of these materials, I'm going to change the color. So I'm just going to turn the coating off, and just to make this a little bit more sort of visible, really. So I'm going to change the color of each of these materials. Perhaps pink. Click this one. Blue. And finally, we've got a final material, perhaps yellow. Oh, so we've got our multi-sub objects, and you can see the little icon there, and we've got a colourful little map up here, or a preview, should I say. Now, at the moment, this mesh is listed as material 2, so it has material ID 2 on it. And what you can do is drag each of these materials singly onto these objects that you'd like to assign them. They work really well as well when you're creating stuff for games and you're exporting out. You can actually export out different material maps. So these work quite well with Substance. It should bring them out as separate maps. Okay, so how can we utilize this ID, these ID settings? Well, I'll show you now. So what we can do is with this, I'm going to contextualize this, I'm going to use an array modifier. So what we can do is I'm just going to come into our modifying list here, and I'm going to click or type array, and then you can see straight away we get an array of these spheres. let's increase that count a little bit, just so we've got a bit of a gap between them. See the difference. Okay, cool. So what we can do is we can assign a different material to each one of these. So again, at the moment, it's all sort of corresponding as one. So in here, this is an example of what you can do in the material ID section. So just turn these down with the drop down arrow. In the material ID section, what we can do is we can set this to be ordered. And then what we can do here, you can have it ordered from 1 to whatever number you like. So I'm going to click 4. Okay, now it might not have updated, so I'm just going to drag this material on here. So let's grab that. I'm going to replace it. And now you can see where it actually tiles and repeats these in that order. So if I was to actually come up to the distribution offset, and let's say that we rank these, you can see getting those tileable materials. And similarly, so if we put in the Z, see now where these materials have tiled. And what you can do as well is if I did keep going in this direction, so if I did keep tiling, you'll see it keeps repeating the order, so it keeps cycling through that order. So that is a way, that's one way of sort of assigning your material sort of IDs, which is pretty cool. How you would use this again on a model, you could use it on models through selections. You can assign sort of material IDs through selection. So we'll have a look at that now. So what I'm going to do is I'll delete the sphere, or maybe just turn off the array for now. And then what we'll do is we'll create a box. Okay. Again, I'm going to just drag that material on. Now you can see here straight away it's actually got different IDs mapped to it. All right. Just for this to work and so you can visualize it, we're going to right click and we're going to convert this to an editable poly. Now with the editable polygon, it gives us different options inside here, like different selection options. So what we can do is we can select a particular face, okay, and we can come down here to polygon material ID, and we can change this. So for example, if I wanted 2 on this side, what I can do is use 2, and you'll see the corresponding color is purple, and now get 2 on here. The same at any point, so I could select maybe this this top section or this back section. And let's have a look. So it's got ID 5. Now at the minute we haven't got anything in here for ID 5, so that's why it's showing as black. These areas are actually black because they're set to ID 5. So what we can do is we could set them to a particular color. So again, let's select this and we can set this maybe to 1 or something like that, and then we've got a different color for each side, so maybe 3. And finally, we'll add 4. Got that pretty much sorted out. There we go. And that is how sort of your multi-sub objects work. If you use these and you say like build up different detail, the detail that you build up is only going to be applied to this material. So for example, here we've got green. We could maybe increase the transparency of green. Now that means that all the green sections and only the green sections are going to become transparent. It won't actually apply to the sort of rest of the material. So again, if we click the default view there, it's not going to apply. It only applies these. So whatever changes we'd like to make, it would only apply to that material itself. So they're a fantastic way of not only organizing your scene, but to also utilize different types of material on a grouped object or a grouping of objects. So for example, it might be a door that contains glass, it contains bronze for maybe handles, it might contain silver bits for screw edges, and this would be a fantastic way of creating those different materials that you need and applying them to that object. So give that a go. Have a little experiment. See if you can set yourself up a multi-sub object, create a simple cube, and apply some materials to it, some material IDs. And I will see you in the next video.